With the release of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, there are most likely going to be more questions than answers. Well, I'm here to bring you some answers, or some supposed answers. Good day, my fancy friends. My name is Topnotch, and welcome to another Five Nights at Freddy's 4 theory. Before we get started, I would like to say, before the comments get blown up telling me that Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is out, I am well aware of it. I bought the game, I downloaded it, and I will be playing it tomorrow because I am so hyped for it, and it is amazing, and I just want to get into it. I have refrained myself from watching Markiplier because he has already uploaded one. I refrained from myself from watching anyone play it because I want to have genuine scares as opposed to the first three that just sort of maybe caught me off guard because I had already played some of them. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 I had played a little bit before, but not too much, but nonetheless it wasn't as fun. This one will be amazing. But anyways, we're going to get back into the actual swing of things, which is the theory. So today I'm going to be bringing you a theory which is actually based off of the Steam page before Five Nights at Freddy's 4 got released as of the day that this video was uploaded. And it has to do with the fact that this may not be the last game. Now, my not playing the fourth game actually myself or watching it, I may be wrong that this could be the actual last game, but I'm going to bring some reasons as to why this may not be. So on the Steam page, we have everything that pretty much we expected it to be. We have the title of the game, we have the trailer, we have some teaser images or images themselves. But I want to address two separate things on this page. First of all, we have Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Now, originally on the IndieDB page, we had Five Nights at Freddy's 4, the final chapter. Now, Scott has probably deliberately named it Five Nights at Freddy's 4 without the last part for a reason, possibly hinting towards the fact that there may be a fifth one. And also, I want to address something else. So, on the right side, you see, in this last chapter of the Five Nights at Freddy's original story, you must once again defend yourself against Freddy Fazbear, Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, and even worse things that lurk in the shadows. Pretty much self-explanatory as to what we're doing in every Five Nights at Freddy's game, but I want to address the fact that it says, in this last chapter of the Five Nights at Freddy's original story. Now, Scott has also deliberately worded it this way. He could have said in the last chapter of the Five Nights at Freddy's series, in the Five Nights at Freddy's, in basically he could have named the entire series as a whole, but he chooses to name it in the last chapter of the Five Nights at Freddy's original story. Now, if you have any good vocabulary in you whatsoever, you would understand that original means the first or the beginnings, basically what started something, because everything has to spring from an original idea. And I'm going to be getting into the reasons why it is worded this way and how it could even potentially lean towards there being a Five Nights at Freddy's 5 being it the last game or maybe just another one, but nonetheless showing that there could be one. So in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, we know that the original story goes and follows the fact that there have been 5 kids stuffed into animatronic suits, and that is why the suits basically activate at night and roam the building and basically try to look for you to try to stuff you into a suit. Because that's how, I mean, as we know, that's what the first 2 games are pretty much about. The very first one clearly was the father of the rest of the games, and it basically sprung the idea, and then we know from Five Nights at Freddy's 2 that that's also what the animatronics are bent on, even though the toys were pretty much malfunctioning, but I've discussed that they could have been haunted. All the animatronics are pretty much trying to stuff you into a suit in the first 2 games, and there was the phone guy, and there was also the purple guy, and that is the original story as it goes. Now you'll find out where I'm going with this, because in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we don't actually have the stuffing of animatronics we don't have the animatronic in the game stuffing you into a suit, because we are only presented with a game over screen that does actually nothing. There's nothing there. It just says game over in red, and it's the end of the thing, and we have to restart. But what I'm going to what the whole story it doesn't make sense. It's like a subplot. In other words, it goes along with the story, but it's not the actual story. It's not what we were presented with, which is probably why people didn't like Five Nights at Freddy's 3 as much because it not only had way more jump scares, but it also wasn't as I mean it helped um tie up some loose ends with some things, but it also presented us with more questions because it was not the original story. You see where I'm going with this? So, as I said, the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and 2, the original story, haha, play on words, was actually the kids being stuffed into suits. The suits are haunted. Um, Basically, all the stuff that makes up the original Five Nights at Freddy's that we all know. And Five Nights at Freddy's 3 again as a repeat, it didn't follow that. There was really no haunting of suits. There were more like apparitions or ghosts, and there was just the one animatronic, which was pretty much just being a dude, an actual living guy, forced to live out a constant death, and it was pretty much just agony for him. But there was really no haunting of suits or revenge or any of that. So, Five Nights at Freddy's 4 potentially ends the original story. In other words, it ends the original kids being stuffed, the animatronic suits, all of that stuff that makes it up. It's pretty much going to, I'm assuming it's going to sum up all of the answers as to that story. It's going to give us answers as to maybe even who Golden Freddy is, maybe not. It may be giving us a lot of answers as to people who, like Phone Guy, who he really is. Um, why he did what he did. It could be giving us answers to so much. But on the flip side, if that's the original story being completed and there's still subplots to be fulfilled, such as who is the pink guy, what happened to Fazbear's Fright after it burned down, and Springtrap survived, since this is obviously in the past, all those things could be answered in another game. So there could still be hope after this game is finished. And if you guys really enjoy this theory, it's because it makes sense. Because so many people have discredited it, they don't want there to be another game, but it seems like there could potentially be a fifth game to finish out all the rest of the story, um, to give us answers once and for all as to who some of the characters are in their respective places. But anyways, that was just another theory, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like below, and please drop your own comments suggesting if you think there could be one based on this theory. Um, Consider sharing it, but as always, have a top-notch day, guys, and I'll see you next time. So peace out, everyone.